Hi, this is the new one. Ooh, I forgot to change this. Here, wait. Class keywords. Class keywords 2 continued. Excellent. All right. Hopefully you can see that. All right. So instead of talking about bugs, we're going to talk about static stuff. So what static refers to is you have your blueprint, right? I'm going to make it blue because it's blue. Oh my gosh. Blueprint. Let me do this. Perfect. Actually, no. They're darker. Yep, there we go. We got blueprint. We have our blueprint, right? And we use that to make all sorts of different instantiations of that class. All of these are objects down here. Now, the keyword static allows us to share information with all objects that we've created. So by putting static in front of a variable, every object has access to that same exact variable, and it has the same value. So what if, inside of our blueprint, for some reason, we need to keep track of the number of bugs that we have, right? The number of bugs. What we could do is we could make a variable, a private static integer, okay? You could have a public static integer, but this one's private because we need access. And access is important. This is going to be the total bugs that we've created. So whenever you make a bug, what has to happen to this? You're going to add 1 to total bugs. Total bugs plus. And I'm going to do that down here too in this constructor. So no matter which constructor we're using, it adds 1 to total bugs. So watch this. Let me see. I'm just going to make 3 bugs with default values. I'm going to have my bug. I'm going to have a whole bunch of bugs. My bug 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what should happen is every time one of these bugs is created, they each have their own individual variables for these, and they all share a single total bugs variable. So by the end of it, they all share total bugs, which is equal to 5. So if I make a getter for this, public int get total bugs, return total bugs, and I call, let me call it after each one, right? I'm gonna call my bug dot get total bugs, right? And I'm gonna print this out. Print line. There we go. I'm gonna print this. This should only print. Oh, what'd I do? Ooh. There we go. Oh, my bug 1. Okay. At the time I called this, there's 1 total bug. Now watch this. I'm still going to call the first bug's total bugs function, but because it's a static variable, they all share this. So when I make this second bug, it also says total bugs plus. It has its own wing color, has its own color, has wings, num legs, and name. But it shares the total bugs. So total bugs is 1. Gonna add 1 because I'm making another bug. So there should be 2. Even though I'm still calling bug 1's total bugs. 2, right? And I could do this down here and it'll be 5, right? And watch this. I'm actually gonna print out 2 different bugs get total bugs. I'm going to do 1 and 3. They'll both be 5. Isn't that crazy? Very nice. Okay, so, I guess it doesn't make much sense to call this function on a specific bug. Notice how I'm saying my bug1 dot get total bugs. It doesn't matter what bug I call this on, right? I could call it on bug 3, I could call it on bug 1, does not matter. So because it doesn't matter, you could make the function static. And if a function is static, that means you don't need to make an object in order to call the function. You can just call the function. So instead of saying public int get total bugs, I could say public static int get total bugs. This means I do not need to make a bug in order to call this. Okay? By the way, it's smart to set this to 0 initially, right? Because when you make this, it's a number of bugs, right? It starts out as 0, and then you add to it, right? It's 0 by default anyway, but it's good practice to say what it starts as. Okay. So now, instead of saying my bug 1 or my bug 3, what I can say is the bug class itself. From the bug class, call get total bugs. The bug class is a blueprint. But the thing is, it keeps track of the total number of bugs by being static. And because of that, I can call this function, this static function, get total bugs, because you don't need any bugs. This could be 0, right? I'm going to delete all, well, I'm going to run this first just to show you. Still prints out 5. I'm going to delete all of these, right? And look, I have no bug objects, and I can still say go to my bug class, even though you haven't made an object yet. Get the total number of bugs we've made so far. It's 0. Do you remember when we were using the math class, how we would do something like math.random, right? This is the exact same thing. Random is a static function. You don't have to say, and look how annoying this would be. What if you had to go math, m equals new math, and then you would say m.random. That would suck. There's no reason to do this. You don't need to make an object to use a random number. You can just say, go to the math class and use the random function. Hopefully that makes sense about static. The last thing that we're going to do is use final, which is a little more extraneous, but all it means is that a variable never changes. Okay, you can't change its value. So what if I set numlegs to 6, and I said private final integer numlegs equals 6. You can't change this now. It's unchangeable. Oops. No matter how hard you try. Bug.set legs 10. Oops, what'd I do? Cannot find, what did I call it? Set numlegs. Get set numlegs. Set numlegs. It's not going to let you do this, right? Non-static method. Oh, I did. Oh, so this is another issue. If you don't make a bug object and you're trying to call a non-static method, one that requires an actual bug, such as set legs, set number of legs, you need to make a bug first. You can't just say go to the bug class and call this. You'll get this error. Non-static method, set num legs, cannot be referenced from a static context, right? This is the static context. So I need to make a bug. Bug b equals new bug. I'm not going to pass anything in. And instead of saying bug, I say b because that's my variable name. And look, now we get an error. Oh, void type is not allowed. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Oh, I'm printing it out. I'm printing it out. Okay, now it should be good. Okay, here we go. Cannot assign a value to final variable numlegs. This isn't a constant, but it's about as close as you could get to a constant. Actually, private static final is the closest thing you can get to a constant that cannot change and is shared everywhere. Okay. That's it for what I have to talk about here. This should be more than enough to do the projects. So if you need help, let me know. Hopefully I explained everything well. Static and access, such as public and private, were the things that, when I was learning, were the hardest for me to learn. So if you don't get this right away, don't sweat it. I'll talk about it with you in class. We can go over it. We can do examples, all that kind of stuff. It is 8 o'clock. All right. Have a good one.